Thank you, first off, so much for spending all of this time with me. It means the absolute world to me, and I love you forever and always. And I am just really excited to, reflect on the past 3 months together with the Deep Float implementation program. So let's just dive right into these questions. So what was the first set of goals that you had with taking the Deep Flow implementation program?
To actually follow through with my ideas. So I had the idea for my fitness-based shuffle program like brewing in the back of my mind for a while, and just a lot of questions about how I would actually do it and what it would look like. And really it was because of working with you through flow state and how well we meshed and how much I resonated with so many things that you said and how much I got out of that program, that I knew that if I signed up with you, it would be like I was making the commitment to do it, and that you were going to help me get there. So it was really just about actually following through with that process and learning whatever I had to learn along the way to make it happen, and to hold my hand in the process.
So would you say that you accomplished said goal?
I not only accomplished said goal, but now have a whole bunch of other goals that I never would have dreamed that I would have had. So above and beyond. Above and beyond.
Above and beyond.
Oh, look how that happened.
Shout out to Shuffle Wisdom.
And Juna.
What's
up, Aunt Juna fam?
All right, the next question I have for you is, what's the biggest challenge or the biggest change you felt in your lifestyle because of working with me?
Actually putting in work. And this really just kind of goes back to the initial goal of like following through with something. So, once I made the commitment to you, it was making a commitment to me. And just the weekly meetings have been absolutely instrumental in like keeping me going along. It has kept me accountable for doing the work necessary. So it's really just been this whole, I'm trying to think of the words now, like the whole process of just developing what my flow is really. It's like taking that even further and making these little tweaks along the way and learning what things didn't quite work and where I need to still make little tweaks. So just learning about me and my process and what's going to work for me moving forward in the future. And just figuring out the way that my brain works and how I learn and process things, and working that into my daily structure and how I complete tasks and manage my time, which is still a work in progress. But actually putting in work, following through, like when it comes right down to it, is it. But all of those little things along the way have contributed to that.
Yeah, I hear that. And you, not only have you put in the work, but like, oh my goodness, it's so interesting because our definition of work changes, right? I just remember there'd be multiple times where I'd be like, okay, well, here's some homework tasks that you can like get to. And then, we'd meet the next week and you'd be like, oh, well, I didn't get those tasks done. So it feels like it didn't really get any work done. But then you'd just sit for like a half an hour and explain to me like all of these other like life revelations and how everything comes together. And so, I feel like really just the definition of work may have changed, because I feel like you've 100%. Always done work in some way, shape, or form, but maybe not having known that it was work, or maybe that it was like actually helping you along in the journey.
Yeah. It's been a lot of internal work.
Yeah.
A lot of internal work, but that internal work has resulted in things that are going to be like imperative for me moving forward to I mean, just so many insights and reflections that are going to help me handle the physical work in the future. So yeah, 100%.
Hell yeah. All right. So who would you recommend this program would best be suited for?
Everybody. So really anybody that has an idea that has been brewing that maybe just you don't know how to go about it or don't know how to get started, or anyone who feels like fearful of it or insecure around it. Like I have this idea, but there's no way I could ever do something like this. I wouldn't even I don't know what to do, or I'm not worthy of it, or I'm not capable enough of it. Anyone who just kind of constantly feels like they're getting in their own way. Anyone who just maybe doesn't have those issues, but just needs the tools and guidance to get started, to follow through. Anyone who needs the inspiration to just keep going on a week by week basis, and somebody be accountable to in order to get that, I don't know, keep moving with that flow and to stay inspired, especially because now I know how roller coaster of a process it is. And there definitely have been some weeks where, I mean, I've had my moments of like, oh my God, this is so awesome. I'm so glad I'm finally doing this. This is going to be great. I have so many wonderful ideas, and I can just see this golden light at the end of the tunnel, to the next week being like, I can't do any of it. And if I didn't have you there, it would have been really easy during those moments to just be like, you know what, I'm not cut out for this. So, so for anybody that just needs that little consistent boost, that inspiration to keep going. Now I'm going to look at the things I wrote. Yeah, somebody that just wants anybody that wants someone to work with that will understand who you are as a person and how your brain works and what makes you tick. Because that's another thing that you've done for me is like, you know me, you know me. And so you know what to say to me. So it's just even the tiniest little things. Like one thing that just really sticks out to me was one week you were giving me my homework for the week, and there was something for like to put on the back burner, but you're like, if you have this, like a synchronistic event that tells you to do this, and because you understand that my life works on synchronicities, so it felt like the process was tailored for me and how I work. So anybody that needs that keyword during that entire answer was anyone. So just anyone.
I appreciate you so much. Oh my goodness. And lastly, very final question is, what made you decide to trust me and immerse yourself in my programs in the first place?
Well, working with you through flow state and just seeing how well our energies meshed and how much I got out of just, I mean, in that program, I had 2 sessions with you, right? And just walking away from both of those feeling like just click, like when things click, just everything clicked and everything resonated. And the fact that you seemed to really see me and get me, the knowledge and the perspective that you brought to the table, both from having the business knowledge, but then also on the creative side of it too. And I mean, now I'm almost going to take a little tangent, but like looking back on it, seeing the things now that I know that I wouldn't have known to even look for. I mean, obviously wasn't a factor in me deciding to go with you because I didn't know what I didn't know at the time, but I did know that you had a lot to offer, that that there's no way I would have gotten to on my own. And, you know, through flow state too, I just felt like I constantly got that little push, and it kept my spark just always a little bit lit. Really, if I'm thinking about going back to that time, if I had to think through it rationally and logically versus intuitively, I've never had such a big gut feeling. So I you know, like, I would love to give a great logical, rational answer here too, but at the end of the day, like, I knew in my gut that I needed to work with you. There was no choice. I, at the time, had every reason not to, and all of these excuses, and I could not go against my gut on that one.
Well, that leads me to a bonus question, because you just like hit me in the feels. What advice would you give someone who was in your shoes, you know, right before you signed up for the deep flow state implementation specifically, right? So you had just finished Flow State Freedom. This was a big financial investment, and like you just said, you had a lot of reasons to say no. So what advice would you give to someone now who is in that same position as you were back then? Like, what would you say that, like, you know, they want to do it, but they're just being held back by fear, whether it's, you know, some sort of circumstance with finances, or, you know, maybe it's not my time, maybe I don't have confidence, whatever it might be. What would you say to that person?
Oh boy, being on the spot. Look at how I'm doing this because I'm on the spot.
Sure.
I think for anybody that's considering it, whatever it is that your goal is, whatever you're aspiring to, take a second to just close your eyes and be that for a minute. Like, imagine all of those other blockages are not there. So whether it's money, or whether it's the time, or whether it's the dedication, like, forget any of that even exists, and close your eyes and put yourself in a place of that it's already happened. Sit with that for a minute, and then think about how that feels. And if that feels like something that you want, the blockages or the roadblocks are not roadblocks. That's your answer right there, as if it's something that you need to go forward with. If you can close your eyes and think about actually achieving those things, and feel it in your body, and know what it feels like, and know that's what you need to go after, then do it.
Do the damn thing.
Do it. You got to do it.
Thank
when
you.
else? If not now, then when?
Amen. Thank you so much for doing this testimonial questions with me. I appreciate it so much. And honestly, like, this is going to help me be able to help other people and reach them in ways that, like, because I know it can obviously be really hard to sign up for something like this when it's just like, yeah, like, this is a big step. So, like, hearing from you is honestly going to help a lot of people. So thank you. Thank you very much for that.